Hey, welcome back. In this video, we'll do the arms, the bow, the button, and the assembly of the gingerbread man. We're going to start on the arms, and you'll need to make 2 of these. In round 1, we're doing 6 single crochet in a magic ring. In round 2, we do 6 increases in a row. This brings us up to 12 stitches for the round. Now for the next 6 rounds, so that's rounds 3 to 8, we just do 12 single crochet a round. And I'll do these 6 rounds off camera. Now we're going to stuff the arm only about halfway. Then we fold the arm flat and we're going to do single crochets across both sides. And now we can cut the yarn, making sure to leave a bit of a tail for sewing later. And remember, you'll make 2 of these arms. Next we're going to do the bow, and I'm using this green yarn, but you can use whatever color you like. Start by making a slip knot, and then chain 4. Now we're going to work in the 3rd chain from the hook, which is this one here. And we're going to do 4 double crochet into the same stitch. And then we chain 2 and do a slip stitch back into that same chain stitch. Now we have done 1/2 of the bow. Now we do a slip stitch into the first chain stitch we did, which is 1 stitch over. And we chain 2, and we're going to do 4 double crochet into that same chain stitch. And then chain 2 and do a slip stitch back into that same chain stitch. Now we can cut the yarn, making sure to leave a long tail so that we can wrap around the middle of the bow. And now, using the tail, wrap around the bow a few times. Once the middle is the thickness you want, we can tie the tails together at the back of the bow. Next we're going to do the button, and I like to do 1 button, but you can do 2 if you like. In round 1, it's 6 single crochet in a magic ring. Pull the ring tight, and then we're going to slip stitch back to the first single crochet we did. Then we can cut the yarn, making sure to leave a bit of a tail for sewing later. Now we're going to assemble the gingerbread man, and I like to start with the arms. The arms are going about 2 rounds down from the neck. Once you have an arm in place, grab a stitch from the body and go up into a stitch of the arm, and then down into the next stitch of the arm and grab the next stitch of the body, and do this all the way across. Once I reach the other side of the arm, I like to go back towards the back and grab that first stitch again, and then go back to the other side. And grab that stitch, and then bring that yarn tail through to the back of the body. Now we're doing the second arm exactly the same way as the first. Just make sure it's the same height as the first arm. Then we can bring that tail back to meet the first one, and tie these together and insert the knot into the body. Now we're going to do the suspenders, and I like to do it pretty much in line with the eyes, just in that first round of red. So insert your hook and pull through a loop. Make sure to leave a bit of a yarn tail at the front. And then we're going to chain enough stitches to get over the shoulder and towards the back. In my case, this is 20 chain stitches, but yours might be more or fewer. And I'm crossing over to the other side at the back, and then inserting the hook at the top round of red and do a slip stitch. And now we can cut the yarn, leaving a bit of a tail. To secure that front tail, you can go over a stitch at the front a few times and then bring it through towards the back. Then with the back tail we do the same thing. We go over a stitch a few times and then bring it through to the back. You could also just bring these tails through to a few different places on the body if you prefer. Now we do the second suspender exactly the same way, just making sure that it's symmetrical with the first. Next we're going to attach the bow. First I like to take one of the tails and grab a few stitches at the front of the neck. And just go over that a few times. And then I like to do a stitch over the bow. And then I tie the two tails together and cut them a similar length. And then thread them into a yarn needle. Insert that behind the bow and then pull that knot into the body. Now we're going to sew on the button. First, I like to take the tail from the magic ring and insert that right in the middle. Then, using the other yarn tail, grab a stitch from the body, go up into a stitch of the button, and down into the next stitch of the button, and do this all the way around. Once the button is securely attached, you can bring that yarn tail back to meet the other one. Lastly, we are going to embroider the mouth, and I like to do it like so. So you can embroider the mouth however you prefer, but I like to make 2 diagonal stitches at the sides and 1 straight stitch in the middle. And now your gingerbread man is done. I will be doing a gingerbread girl for my next video, so please stay tuned for that. Thanks so much for watching this tutorial. If you enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell.